Anyways, I'm gonna get going now, and then people can just hop on. But anyways, thanks for being here, guys. Today is Thursday, November 5th, and I am really excited for the team because we have such awesome momentum going. I'm so proud of every single one of you, and of all of our new coaches. Like all of our new coaches that everyone has been bringing on have just hit the ground running, and they're helping people right off the bat. So great job helping them get started. And I'm really excited for the month of November. I really think this team is going to blow up November and December. And I don't think we're going to slow down. So I think we're going to have a massive explosion in January because we're going to go full force ahead here in November and December. All right, just a couple things here before I turn it over to Nick. We have our coach sneak peek starting on Monday, so make sure that you are reaching out and inviting people to that, and private messaging people, posting on your wall about it. Try to aim to get at least 10 new active coaches, prospects into that group. We also have the Crockpot group starting on Monday, so take advantage of that too. I think last one that we ran, we had huge success, and I know a lot of people were able to hit Success Club just by moving people from the Crockpot group into the 21-day fix. And the last thing I wanted to mention was we have our 10-day Shakeology Challenge starting on November 16th. And I think this is going to really help our team out for these next few months. We got a lot of interest in it, and I can't wait to see how that goes. So me and a couple of the leaders on the team, we're all working together to try to make this really fun and exciting for everyone in it. And in hopes that when it's over and done with at the end of the 10 days, they will love Shakeology so much that they will sign up for Home Direct, I'm sure, because we know we can't go a day without it, right? All right. So tonight I am having my husband, Nick, here talk to you guys because I know that one of the biggest reasons why I myself have been able to have such success with this is because of the fact that he is on board and supports me with this. And we've communicated about it, and we've talked about business hours together and what's going to work for us in the family. But he wasn't like that at the beginning. And I know that a lot of times, a lot of coaches, it's the significant other that kind of holds you back a little bit because they don't really understand, they're not on board. So Nick is going to kind of just like share his story with you guys and kind of like how he started out being like super skeptical and not supportive to being like 150% all in and doing this along with me. So tune in to Nick, guys.
All right. Hi, guys. How you doing? All right. So first off, I'm going to apologize because I talk very fast. I get super amped up. So if I talk too fast, I'll try to slow down, but I'm not that great at it. So I have a whole slew of notes, and it's kind of a mess. I'm going to do my best to make this an organized thought process. A lot of times I kind of go all over the place. So bear with me while I kind of run through this stuff. So I'm going to start by talking a little bit about basically like my background and how Kathy came into the business and where my first position on it was. So Chris may know this because way back in college, I actually went to a presentation. There was like a job offering at Bridgewater State College, and they had a thing where they said, come to this business meeting, for a job. I'm like, oh, okay. So I went, and it ended up being this company called Primerica, which is a network marketing company, and they sell like life insurance, I think. And me and a couple other guys were there, and they get you in there, they get you all amped up, and next thing you know, we had all written checks for like $250 to like sign up as distributors. And I walked out, and I just felt like sick to my stomach about it afterwards. I felt like I totally got scammed into it, and that had been my only experience up until that point with anything related to a network marketing company. Now, as far as I know, Primerica is definitely a legitimate business, but they had very high pressure sales tactics, and for me, that always turned me off. I don't like that at all. One of the things I love about Beachbody is that everyone's very honest and open, and you'll never hear someone say that it's an easy business. You'll never hear someone say that you can join in and in a month from now, you'll make $1 million, right? Yeah, so a little bit about my own personal background. I have a degree in business administration, and I have a master's degree also in business. I have an MBA also with a concentration in entrepreneurship. My goal in life was always to own my own business. And I've started 5, I think, or 6. I've got a ski company, like a skiing forum. I've got a I had a short sale software company that I sold. I had a mobile payment application that I started and didn't pan out. What else have I done? Oh, the photography business.
Yep.
And the web design company. So I've had like 5 different companies, and none of them have been as successful as Kathy's been with Beachbody. And I think one of the reasons is because she's been very dedicated to this, and I've always had a toe in with it, but I never went all in the way she's gone in with this, right? And that's one of the things that I've learned watching her with this business. And I also always had a full-time job. So what happened is, we were, you've probably heard Kathy's story. She's talked about it many times about the financial situation that we were kind of in. But, I was at my job. I tried these businesses. They didn't take off. And then we had kids. And what happens, of course, is you get into a routine with the kids, and I have a good job. I have a job that I feel very guilty complaining about, right? Because I get 4 weeks of vacation a year. I make a good salary. Like, I get to work from home a lot of days a week. So I have things that people would kill for, but it's not fulfilling to me, right? And I got into a situation where we had kids. Kathy was staying home with them. I was the sole provider of income in the family. And at that point, I kind of let my entrepreneurial ambitions fade away, right? I kind of said, I guess that's it. Like, I can't start a new business now unless I want to ignore my family, and I don't want to do that. I want to be present in my kids' lives, right? I don't want to be, I don't want to be working all day long in the office and then coming home and then working all night long too, and not being present in their lives at all, right? And on the weekends and everything. So I kind of let it go. I kept doing things on the side. Like, I still kept doing videography. We were struggling financially big time a year ago. Well, basically in the 14 years we've been together, we've never really been great with money, which has always been kind of a struggle. But so Kathy, we're basically in the position where Kathy was going to have to go back to work. She was tutoring and I was doing all my jobs, and we couldn't make our ends meet. And so we went out for dinner with Kathy's coach, Heather, back in probably February or March of 2004, last year.
Yeah, it was February.
Yeah. And so Heather brings up coaching, because she was a coach for like a month or 2 at the time. And I thought, no way in hell, I told Kathy, it was my first thing. I'm like, this is ridiculous. You're going to waste your time. You're going to waste your money. You're going to waste your energy. What's a stupid protein shake anyway? I said, look, and I pulled out a box. I've got a big box of protein powder. I pulled it out and I said, look, I paid $80 for this huge tub. Okay, show me your little stupid bag of Shakeology, right? And I said, so I don't want any part of that. And, but we had done P90X before, so I loved the programs. I had a lot of belief in the programs. I just didn't believe in the marketing model or anything. I thought it was a gamble. I thought that what you got out of it was going to be a total,
roll the dice.
Roll of the dice. Yeah. I thought basically that, success was determined by luck or by whatever. And as it turns out, watching Kathy the past year and a half couldn't be further from the truth. Success in this business is entirely based on the effort and work that you put into it. And it's just like any other business, that's what I love. What I've learned in the last year is that it's no different from starting a blog or starting a physical business or starting a landscaping company or starting anything else. What you get out of it is what you put into it, right? And, a lot of people fail at network marketing, right? But it's mostly because they're not putting in the time, right? Or they're not being consistent with it. Kathy says it a lot, but consistency over time delivers the results, and it's completely true in this business. And my business has never succeeded because I was never consistent with it. But so I'm kind of jumping ahead now. Going back again to where we talked about with
this is first time, guys. Just bear with us.
I'm not as good at this as Kathy is. So going back now to when we first met Heather. So I thought this was a total scam, right? I said, there's no way we're going to do this, because we were strapped for cash. And I was like, we're not spending $100 on Shakeology. So 3 months went by, and Kathy, we kept kind of talking about it. Heather kept asking Kathy, first of all, like over and over and over again. So we kept talking about it, and the investment wasn't huge. So I kind of thought, well, what the hell? Like, Kathy can give it a try. She was tutoring 3 nights a week, making $50 an hour tutoring. So she was making $150 a week tutoring per week. And I said, if you can replace that doing this, that's great. Like, that's, I told Kathy, I said, your goal of this business should be $200 a week,
yeah.
Which is now insane when I look back at how low our goal was with the business. But that's what I said. I said, if you can make $200 a week, I will be thrilled with that, right? And pay for the Shakeology. So she signed up. And we both had an agreement. I'm never the kind of guy that would tell Kathy she can or can't do something. If she wants to try it, I'm all for it. She held off a lot because I told her this was going to be a bunch of baloney, right?
Right. I figured he knew because he's the one with the MBA and all that stuff. And I was just,
Right.
I was just teaching first grade. What the heck do I know?
Right.
I don't know anything about running a business.
Right. And everything that I thought about this business was based on preconceived notions. So when Kathy signed up, a couple things happened. Well, first of all, before she signed up, I started spending a lot of time researching. And for anyone that knows me, I'm like an over-researcher. I don't care if I'm buying a spatula for the kitchen. Like, I like go on Amazon, I look at the reviews, and I'm like, this person said the spatula breaks. This is a piece of shit spatula. Like, I'm not buying the spatula. And so, when it came to this, I started doing crazy amounts of research. I went to YouTube. I went to, I read like the entire policies and procedures from front to back before Kathy even signed up as a coach. Because I remember when Kathy signed up, she was like, I think I make 70% commission on everything. I'm like, there's no way in hell you make 70%. Right? We didn't even know
That would be nice.
how it worked, right, in the beginning. So I spent all this time reading it. And for me, I like to fill my lack of confidence with knowledge. So I learned how the business works. What do you need to do to be successful, right? A lot of times when you go to like the events or you talk to the people or you go to like a webinar, they'll talk a lot about they'll give you a lot of rah-rah-rahs, right? They'll trot out the people that have earned a lot of money. They'll trot out, they'll show you all the success. They'll get you all fired up about it. But to me, I was like, okay, I don't care about any of that. Like, show me, what do I need to do to get there? Like, how do you actually get there, right? And that's when I learned about the downline and how to structure your business. And that stuff is super, super important. And it took me 3 to 4 months to get a basic understanding of it, and probably a full 6 months before I felt like I really knew it inside and out. But I filled my lack of understanding about this business with that knowledge, right? And the other thing is, pyramid scheme was the the very first word I told Kathy, right? And, at the end of the day, here's my interpretation of it, right? In this business, you're legitimately helping people get results with health and fitness, right? A pyramid scheme is a situation where you're making money off of the money that your distributors are paying into the system. So it's a transfer of wealth, right? In other words, like, you got people here and they're paying up to the people here, but the money's coming from the people here. That's not the case here. Everyone here is selling to customers and has challengers and is hitting success level points every month by putting people into challenge groups. That's where the money that pays coaches comes from, right? So it's coming from like a legitimate customer source. It's coming from people doing programs, getting results. Kathy's downline is now at like, I'll show you guys this later when I get into some of the numbers stuff, but I think it's at like 900. And I want to say there's like 60 or 70 coaches, like actually active coaches in the downline. I mean, like 830 of them are like customers. And that doesn't even include the people that are signed up as like legitimate customers. So so where am I going with all this, right? Let me look at my notes here. So again, why this call? So a couple things. First off, as a spouse, I know this, and you can get a little insecure about your spouse's success, right? Kathy exceeded my salary like a few months ago, like over the summer. I mean, she made her first paycheck back in like April that was bigger than my take-home pay, but her actual like paycheck that's beating my normal paycheck was like 2 months ago or so in July, right? Yeah. And a lot of guys get they feel like they're losing control, or they want to be the man of the house and take care of stuff. And in my mind, I don't really have a problem with it because in my mind, we're both here supporting our family and doing what we can for our family. So I'm sort of okay with that, but some people have a problem with that. And I don't know how you get over that, really. I mean, I don't really know what to say about that one. I know that's what a lot of guys have. I didn't have that particular issue, but I would just say that, you have to look at it like, what are you guys doing together for your family, right? For us, it's we're working together to provide for our kids' futures and for our futures also. And the other thing is too, it's very deflating when you have a spouse that's not on board. So like I said, Kathy held off signing up for 3 months because I thought it was going to be a total scam. Now, eventually I came around, but if you have someone that's not on board with you, especially as you're further into this business, it's hard, right? Because it's hard when you're trying to do something and someone's giving you crap about it. Or if you're trying to put some, if you're trying to do work and people don't believe in it, right? And it's hard in the beginning, especially because it's a new business and you're not necessarily seeing a big income right out of the gate, unless you're selling a boatload of challenge packs. In the beginning of this business with network marketing, you work a lot for a little. And over time, it compounds into working a little for a lot. But you have to get through that transition period. And a lot of people fall out then, right? That's why there's a high failure rate in this. That's why there's a high failure rate in any business, right? Blogging. If you have someone that goes out and puts up 30 blog posts in a month and then they quit. And it's like, well, you never hit that tipping point yet where people are actually coming to your blog and reading it. It's no different with this. I mean, you have to stick it out. As a matter of fact, I mean, Kathy's very first coach that got the diamond with her, that got her to 2-star, quit like 6 months after signing up. She stopped actively working the business about 3 months in. And it's a shame because, you know.
Well, she quit because of the spouse. That's the whole point.
Yeah, her spouse didn't support her with it, right? And she got a lot of grief. She'd always get a hard time from it for it, right? And she couldn't get past that, right? So she ended up quitting. And Kathy and I talk about it now. And at the rate that she was going, if she kept doing what she was doing, right now she'd be earning probably somewhere between $50,000 and $70,000 per year, right? And she quit. She threw it away because her spouse didn't support her on it. And that's not unique. You know, a lot of people have that problem. So what else? So what things changed my mind? Let me see. So first off, right, if you can make money with this business, it'll change your mind fast, right? Kathy, you probably heard her say this before, but she said one of her goals was to prove me wrong on the fact that I was a skeptic about this, and she did. She did it quickly. Her first month you did SC20, and your second month it was like SC, I mean, even more than that. It was like 40 or 50. It was like July. It was like insane. And she made like over $1,000. And if you remember, my goal was $200 per week. So the second that happened, I was like, okay, I'm on board with this. Let's keep going. And that's when I started to really invest into understanding the business even more at that point. I'll show you the spreadsheet that I use to track Kathy's business later and how it's grown. But, you know, that's where I created the spreadsheet and started really trying to forecast and figure out what do we need to do to grow this into a business. And that's also when her goals changed, right? They started off by being small, you know, and then over time they've grown and grown and grown. And now, I mean, we're in a different position now. Our first thing was pay off the credit cards. So check. You know, the second one was keep Kathy staying home and making enough income. Like that one was checked, right? So now it's bigger. Now it's like we have things like we want to be able to pay for our kids' college education. That stuff wasn't on the table. It wasn't even remotely on the table before. I mean, Kathy and I were talking about, we were like, I mean, it sucks, but the kids are going to take out loans. I mean, there's no way. I mean, we can barely, we can barely scrape by ourselves, right? And that's hard. So what else did Kathy do? Oh, here's another thing that helped me too, right? Kathy was doing this for about a month, and her challengers that she had, her first group of challengers, started sending her emails with how she changed their life, right? She started getting messages and emails on Facebook where people would tell her how they've lost 10 or 15 pounds, how they feel great, how they have the most energy they've had in a long time, how they feel like they've regained control of their life back, right? And that's almost more amazing. It actually is more amazing than the money, because I mean, that's what this business is all about, is helping people. And when I saw that, it made me realize, okay, Beachbody isn't a bunch of people that are just trying to step on top of everybody else to make money. Like, they're really out there trying to help people, and it really is making a difference. So that helped me get over that hump too. So I watched a lot of YouTube videos. And yeah, again, it's a business, right? So I have an entrepreneurial background, so I know what it takes. I don't know what it takes because I haven't succeeded as much as Kathy has.
Yeah, but you understand that.
But I understand that it takes time to build a business, and it's not like a 9 to 5. Like, you're not going to show up. You know, I can't tell you. Okay, I work in a corporate environment in technology, right? And I go into the office, and I can't tell you how many people I walk by, and they're sitting on Facebook, clicking, scrolling through. They're not doing any work at all. And guess what? They get their paycheck every week. And that's never going to fly here. It's not going to fly. You can't sit here and scroll through Facebook and click here and click there and goof off and get a check. But it blows my mind how many people will sign up and then quit because they don't make any money when they literally don't do anything. Like, they do nothing. Like, they think that signing up is going to get them a check, and that's not how it works. No business is going to work like that. But if you do put in the work and drive it, it can grow. I mean, for us, it's been, completely life-changing in ways that I never thought it would be. So what kind of things?
Business owners.
Yeah, I got all that here still. I'm getting there. Sorry, boss. So Kathy proved me wrong, right? So here's some things that I found help, right? So in the beginning, Kathy called this her business all the time. And since Summit, she sort of changed it. I try to sneak in there and try to give myself some credit for stuff. I'd say, like, hey, Kathy, you think that, like, me talking about entrepreneurship over all these years is done? And she'd be like, no, it's all me.
I'm like, absolutely not.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I'm feeling kind of bad about myself, you know? I'm like, oh. So, you know, it really has to be a we business, and your partner has to be on board, or your spouse, or, you know, or your family. It's hard when the person's not on board with you. And where am I going with that now? Yeah, you got to communicate.
Want me to take over here?
No, I got it. I said, guys, Kathy's been doing this a lot longer.
Listen, okay, so what he's probably trying to say is that
I'll correct her
is that you need the number one problem and reason why coaches fail in this business is because there are no open communication lines between you and your significant other. They don't understand that this is a legit business that you are trying to build, that you are trying to change your life and you're working it from the ground up. And so you need to sit down with them and you need to tell them how serious you are about this, what your goals are with this, and, you know, make it about them. And you know what, if you have a full-time job and you're working all day and the only time that you have to work on this business is at nighttime, well, your significant other needs to be on board with you and needs to understand that some of that time at night, not all of it, you shouldn't have your face buried in your phone like this all night long, but you need to sit down and work on a specific structured schedule where you can actually dedicate time to building your business. And then when it's that time, like you both agree on it, like, all right, like every night the kids go to bed at 8, I'm going to work on my business from 8 to 9. And then you know what, we can sit down and watch TV or whatever from 9 to 10 or 9 to 11, whatever your schedule is. But you need to both be in agreement with that. And, you know, your significant other needs to know that in order for this to work, you have to put in time every single day to build this business.
Right. And I think I knew that, which is why I supported that. So a little bit about like our schedule. So when Kathy first started doing this in 2014, she would work like 2 hours maybe every night, you know, and then after that we'd sit down and watch. So let me take you back before we ever started doing Beachbody. We would sit on the couch. The kids would go to bed and blam, we'd sit on the couch, we'd make a drink, and we'd watch like Orange is the New Black or something like for 4 hours and then pass out and go to bed, right? And that was it. That was our night, like 7 nights a week, pretty much. And so when we started doing this, we started sacrificing some of that. And I don't really miss Orange is the New Black. Yeah, and it does take sacrifices, you know? So Kathy started off doing like 2 hours a night, and then you know, there's points in this business where things get harder and require more time, right? When you first start, you're selling challenge packs and it takes a couple hours a night. Then you get your first couple coaches. And all of a sudden you have to work to train them and to work on that. And then you still have to do the challenge pack, so it gets a little bit harder. So things get busier and you need to figure out how to make them work into your life if you want to have success with it, right? And your partner needs to be on board with how you make that happen. So like Kathy said, the best thing you can do is have structured business hours. We've dedicated Saturday nights as a date night for us, and it's not perfect. There's times where we're sitting there trying to watch a movie, and I'm like, "Oh, Kathy, you see what happened?" And I look over, and she's like, "I'm like, Kathy." So we take the phone.
And I'm like, "Oh, but my brand new active coach just messaged me. Yeah. I have to help her."
Right. So I'm like, "No, put the phones away, like now, like okay." And, you know, and as the team has grown, you know, we've figured out other ways to do things. So like for example, in the morning now, when we get up on the days that I work from home, I'll take the kids from 8 to 9, and Kathy will go upstairs and work for an hour in the morning. And then she'll come back down, and then I'll go to the office and I'll work the rest of the day upstairs. And at night, you know, we sit down. Now, I've gotten more involved in business myself personally, probably since like February or so.
Yeah.
Up until February, I was helping here and there. I mean, they did her website.
Yeah, he was like doing the website, doing the Success Club leaderboards, things like that.
But then in February, I started getting more heavily involved, where like most nights now, I sit down here with her. And it's actually kind of a fun bonding experience. I mean, I'll tell you, we used to go out for dinner, and we'd sit there and we wouldn't talk. We had nothing to talk about. We'd talk about our kids. Hey, Landon, you know, kicked his sister today. And we'd be like, you know, like that was pretty much all we had to talk about was what our kids were doing. And I can't tell you how awesome it is at this point to like talk about things that are going to happen in our lives. We're not just looking backwards and talking about, you know, is this bread crusty enough and where the hell's the waiter and whatever. Like we're talking about like exciting things and how we're going to drive our family forward. And it's not about Beachbody. It's not like this. What Beachbody has done for us goes so far beyond the money. I told Kathy all the time, Beachbody collapsed tomorrow. You know, what it has done for our relationship, for how we are as parents, for how we are to each other, has been so beneficial for us, right? Because to me, it's reopened my eyes to entrepreneurship. It's reopened my eyes to pursuing my dreams. I mean, even though it's Kathy doing it, it has. It's reopened my eyes to possibility. And you know, when you're a kid and you have that belief in life and you get older and you have all these visions and dreams for what your life is going to be like, and then you do a job, and then you go on 9 to 5 every day, and then you have kids. And, you know, having kids is the greatest thing on the face of the earth, but it's like it becomes so routine every single day, day in and day out. And it's so nice to have something that's it's also inspiring for the kids. It's so nice to have something that you're building towards, right? Besides just your kids growing up, right? We're also building a future for ourselves, and we're setting an example for our kids And in my mind at this point, like I don't think about Beachbody like a network marketing business or a parent. I look at it like a legitimate business, like any other business that you would have, like as if you owned a store or as if Kathy owned whatever, right? I look at it the exact same way. And it took me a while to get there. I mean, even 6 months in, even when you were making over $2,000 a month, I still was not, I still was sort of awkward about it. You know, I still kind of felt like, is this a real business?
Yeah. I mean, and cause think about it. It's like when you go into work, if you have like a 9-to-5 job or whatnot, you know, if you're the significant other, I mean, you don't give your spouse crap for going into their job for 9 to 5 every day. Right. So it's kind of the same thing. Like when you're trying to build your business, you should look at it the same way. I mean, this is going to completely change things like for you and your family, like that, if you just stick with it and put in the work every day. But I can't tell you how hard it would be if I was battling him every single night. Like my time to work on this is at night when the kids are in bed. So I can't tell you like probably how frustrated and how pissed off I'd probably be. I'd be battling him every single night when I'm trying to sit down here, trying to help the team, trying to recruit new coaches. If he was like, Kathy, you're on the computer again. Kathy, you're on the phone again. That's why it's so important that you have an agreement, and you don't have to do crazy hours, you know, but you got to have that agreement, and you have to support your significant other with this, and you know, not be passive aggressive towards them, and you know, make them feel guilty, and it will affect everything. So you're a team. It doesn't matter where the money's coming from. Like it's going towards your family and for your future.
Yeah. And one of the things, again, I want to share with you guys is that I think it's part of the belief thing, right? It took me a while to get there, but I recognize now that this is a short-term investment for a future that's going to drastically change for us, right? It already has changed, but it's going to drastically change even more. But you have to know that that's going to happen, right? And I know for a fact where Kathy's going with this business. I know where it's going to take us as a family at this point, right?
Who's coming with me, guys?
Right? And it can take anyone else there too, but you have to know that. You have to know that. If you don't know that, if you have a toe in and you don't know where you want to go with this, then you're not going to get there. You have to know where you want to go with this, right? And it can totally do it. And I know this because I have researched my ass off on every freaking coach to find out what they're doing to succeed. And it's nothing miraculous. It's just building a team.
Every coach gets there. It's some faster than others. Some take, some take them 3 years. Some take them 4 or 5. They all get there.
So, like, I mean, one of the things, and when I get to the spreadsheet later, I'll show you. Keith Callahan is the millionaire in the upline. One of the guys in the Millionaires Club on the upline from Forever Strong. And he posted in the Diamond page like a year ago his volume over time. And I've been tracking Kathy's against his volume. And I'll show you like where Kathy is today and how much it's changed her life. And you can look at how it's grown since then for him. And it's insane. And it just happens by doing the things consistently every single day. And I know that we've made sacrifices in our relationship. Now, Kathy and I were both, we talked about this, right? And this is where the communication comes in. We talked about what are we willing to sacrifice for the next few years, right, to make this business work. And we said, okay, we're not willing to sacrifice the kids, period. Like our focus is the kids no matter what. And I don't care if it takes 2, 3, 4, 5 more years to build this business, like we're not sacrificing time with the kids. Now, I'll be totally honest, and there are times where I'm on my phone or whatever, and I shouldn't be with the kids still. And it can be a struggle sometimes, right? But I try to put my phone on the counter. I'm getting better at it.
Yeah. Sacrifices. So
also the other thing is time. Right now, Kathy started off like 2 hours a day. Now she's up to probably 4 hours a night and another hour in the morning. So it's like 5 hours a day, and that's six days a week, except for Saturdays, right? And it's a lot of time, but she loves it, right? And we talked about this when we agreed on this, right?
And again, you don't need to put 5 hours into this business every single day to turn it into a successful 6-figure income business. I mean,
it's just math.
You can do it 1 hour a day.
Kathy turned it into a 6-figure business in like a little over a year, right? Doing that. If you put in 2 hours a day, it'll take you twice as long. But if you can build a 6-figure income in 2 years, I mean, that's pretty good. Or if you do an hour a day, you can do it in 3 or 4 years. But again, if you can you go to college for 4 years and you don't come out with a 6-figure income. You know what I mean? I didn't even come close to that. It took me a long, long time to get there. And even then I don't like my job. So I hope they don't watch this video.
Yeah,
so here's some other things that I think that you can do I got it. I can make it.
You can tell I'm a total control freak. I'm pointing to his notes like, don't forget this. Like pointing to this.
Right here.
It's like, yeah, I'm almost would be better off not
celebrate successes, even small successes. If you have a record month, if you get a rank advance, if anything with your business that is good. Celebrate it.
Wait, can I just say one thing too?
Yes.
This is another thing I wanted to say, especially too for the significant others when it comes to this. You know, just when you start to get like aggravated and you feel like this is just a total crock of shit and this is not going to go anywhere,
Call
and
me.
maybe you're like 9 months in or 10 months in or 11 months in, don't forget about where you were when you started. You know, think about really where you were when you started this compared to now. You're not the same person. Things are not the same. I don't care how small or how drastic. There is definitely improvements, and you're not in the same place where you were when you first started this. So you do. Sometimes it's hard because you're thinking about where you want to go with this, and it seems like it's going to take you forever to get there. But you really don't forget about where you came from and where you started.
Yeah, I mean, Kathy will have a week and she'll be like, like she had a week a couple weeks ago and it was like $1,300. I'm like, damn it, what the hell, $1,300? That's it for the week? And I'm like, holy crap, like what am I even saying? It doesn't even make any sense. I'm like, it's like, so again, with your spouse, you want to set business, you want to be on the same page with them, right? So you want to set business hours and you want to know when you're working. And it can be an hour a day, it can be 5 hours a day, but you have to be in agreement with it with your spouse and you have to be on board with it, right? Try to not have the phone out when you're together, when you have that time together. Try it. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard for me. It's hard for her, but you have to do it. Kathy gets creative with her hours. Like she'll work on her phone in the car. Like if we're driving somewhere and the kids are sleeping, and I don't care. I'll listen to music or listen to an audio book or something. That's fine with me. Set your goals together because your goals that you have for the business are going to directly tie into the amount of time you need to put into it, right? If you want to make 6 figures in a year, you're going to have to haul ass, right? And that's going to require sacrifices at home. And your spouse has to know that and be on board with that. If you want to make 6 figures in 4 years, then you can take it more metered, right?
And one of the things that I wanted to mention that Nick did, that so guys, tune in a little bit here. This little hint. One of the things, because I stay at home with the kids. Obviously as a stay-at-home mom, you're supposed to be doing the cooking, the cleaning, the laundry, all that junk. Okay. But in the reality of it was that me and Nick sat down and talked about it, and that every minute free that I have counts and makes a difference. Yep. And we talked about this, and Nick said to me, he actually came out and said to me, listen, when you're home during the day and the kids are down for their nap, or, where the kids go to bed, don't worry about doing the laundry or cleaning the kitchen or the dishes or all that junk. Sit down and build your business. Work on your business. Doing the laundry and doing the dishes and all that stuff is not going to move you forward and get us to where we want to be. Save it for me. I'll do it later. And of course, I have no problem. Go ahead, clean up after me. That'll be great.
If you guys know us at all, okay, we have sort of the role reversal relationship. I'm super clean and neat, and Kathy is a freaking slob.
I really am, and this is just proof that anybody can build this business. I am the biggest.
If you saw her car or her pocketbook or her pile of notebooks on the counter right over there, like it's like she has a beach bag. I don't know how the hell she knows what the hell is going on in her business, but somehow she does. Yeah. And it would drive me insane. And I know everyone has things that work for them, but for her it works. But again, like I come downstairs and I look, and there's little things. I'm like, Kathy, can't you at least put your thing in the freaking dishwasher? I mean, we have that kind of stuff all the time. I'm like, it's not like, but at the end of the day, guess what? There'll come a time where we can get someone to come in and clean the house on a regular basis to help out, and it won't be a stress anymore. But it's again, like, what's the priority right now for us? Is it, what would I rather have? Would I rather have no laundry and perfectly clean floors right now, or would I rather have Kathy make some more income so that we can build a future for our family? Right? That's where we're going with it. And again, we're not sacrificing the time with the kids, but the other times when Kathy has, it's go time, like with the business. It is. It's like nights. I mean, when she's on, like I want her to be on. So my goal now, what I do most of this business to help her out is clear everything out of her way so she can spend her time doing what grows her business, which is talking to people all the time. Talking to people on Facebook, talking to people on the phone, talking to coaches, talking to people on our team, talking to whoever, talking. It's all relationships, right? So that's what I try to clear out the path so Kathy can focus on building relationships. Because I'll tell you one thing, if she had to spend an hour every night cleaning up the playroom and cleaning up the dishes over a year, that's 365 less hours she could put into this business.
Right.
And that's a lot. That's a lot of time invested.
I mean, he doesn't want to. Do you think he really wants to work all day and deal with his baloney and then come downstairs and then he has to spend a whole hour cleaning up all the crap that's all over the floor, putting all the dishes away? I mean, it looks like an explosion has gone through the house, like a massive tornado has come through and gone through every room, but it's either he does it or I do it or we both do it. And then, like I said, the time that, I could be putting into helping the team and recruiting and things like that, it wouldn't be there. And the time is limited. You guys know that you have limited time on the business. So you need to focus spending your time on what's going to move it forward. And, you know, I'll deal with the messy house for a couple of years. It'll all be worth it.
And it causes me stress, you know, the messy house, but I mean, it's just, I have to step back and think about like what we're doing to get there. And again, for me, like, the reason I'm able to do that and I'm able to say this and I'm able to do the laundry, which I don't like doing, and the dishes, which I hate doing, is because I know where Kathy's going with this business, because I now have a belief in it. And I didn't when Kathy signed up. I didn't even remotely have a belief in it. I thought she might make $200 a month if we're lucky. She might pay her Shakeology.
I mean, he specifically said
like,
to me when I first signed
like
up, he's like, do you even really think you're going to even make any money with this? I'm like, oh, you better believe I am.
Yeah. So guys, the other thing about the business too is who we've become, right? I mean, I don't know if you guys are doing personal development right now. I know Kathy poo-pooed in the beginning. As a matter of fact, I remember when I was running my mobile payment startup company, I would meet with my business partner every Tuesday and Thursday, and we'd sit up at night in the office from 8 until 1 in the morning working on our business. And during that time, I'd be running on the treadmill or whatever, and I'd listen to like audiobooks, or I'd read books on my Kindle. And I'd come up and I'd say, hey, Kathy, oh my God, listen to this book. Like, listen to this positive thing about doing this. And she's like, that's ridiculous. Like, that's stupid. I don't want to hear about your business, you know? And it's funny now how like we're both doing it, and it's improved so many things in our lives. I mean, like I said, when we go out for dinner now, man, it's so awesome. Like we're talking about our future, and it's not about Beachbody, right? It's about like, if Beachbody went away tomorrow, right? I know that Kathy could do this again. And I know that I feel like I've re-inspired myself that I could do it again, right? And it's not, like I said, Beachbody is the vehicle that's working for us right now to get there. And, you know, I recognize it's not for everybody, but
it's the doors that it's going to open to along the way.
Yeah.
You know, this is just one door that has been opened. Beachbody opened this one door, but along your journey, it's going to open up so many other doors to so many other things. I mean, I don't even know what the heck that is yet.
And I've also done some PD on there's books on marriages that have helped. Like I read the one, is it the 7 love languages or the 5 love languages? I can't remember.
I think 7.
Anyway, really good book. If you guys feel like you and your spouse need to get on the same page, I'd recommend checking it out. It helped me. Everyone's got different, basically languages that they speak when it comes to relationships and things that matter to them. Like mine is words of affirmation if you read the book. Like I like to be told like that I'm important and that I'm doing things and I'm helpful, right? And yeah, so everyone's got like things that, you know.
I'm like, I'm not so good at giving those compliments.
Yeah, I'm like, happy. I could use a compliment once in a while. So.
But I wanted to say one thing too.
So, do you guys should I show stuff now?
Well, hold on, wait, just real quick before he does that. God, now I just lost my train of thought. Yeah,
okay, so guys, for me, again, I'm going to show you guys some income and things like that happen with our business, with Kathy's business, because I want you to know that for me, again, the seeing is believing, and understanding what's actually happening with the business is what made it real for me. And if you're not diamond yet, why you want to get the diamond? For me, watching Kathy get into the Bearcat Tribe page, which is if you're a diamond, you get into that page, and they're very open there with sharing their income, what their businesses look like, what their downlines look like, what their organizations look like. And that stuff for me was gold in terms of me understanding from a business perspective, right? Because it's a business, not Shakeology and T25. It's a business, right? And what does your business need to do to earn a certain kind of income, right?
Right. You really want to show your significant other what's up, get to 2-star diamond, and get that $1,000 quarterly bonus and be like, hey, honey, look what just came in the mail. Yeah, it's my bonus, $1,000. Woo! Right? And that's just the stepping stone, guys.
You guys see the desktop? For those of you guys who are on the phone, I apologize. You won't be able to see this. Okay, so. I think this was an older version of it. Wait a minute.
But guys, while he's looking this over, you know, your whole, like, until you get like, you know, specific schedule with your spouse, it's going to be a messy journey. It's going to be a messy ride. Like specifically the first year, it's going to be one big hell of a mess with a lot of stress and anxiety, and it's just going to be hell. So we're trying to tell you this now so that you guys can make it a priority to sit down with your significant other and map out a plan of action so that you guys can see success too in your business, and it will relieve so much tension and anxiety if you have your spouse on board with you with this.
So guys, this is this is a little bit confusing, but this is a spreadsheet that I use to track Kathy's business, and I've been using it for a while now. And I keep adding more stuff onto it, but a couple things I'm tracking. So Kathy's got her account, right? Her main account, my account, her spouse account, her second business center, and then she's got another account under another family member, which we just opened like in June. So basically I track this every single week, what her income looks like across this, right? And then I also track it minus the bonus, because in terms of thinking about regular income, I don't want to include the bonus in those numbers. And then I've got a 4-week moving average, because as you can tell right now, she's making anywhere between, 1,100 is the low number. She hasn't made under $1,000 since June, and 1,100 is the low number, but she's made the highest is 2,450. And guys, 10-star bonus, $14,000. Okay. So
I want to get there, guys. Build your team.
You have to build a team, right? 2-star bonus is about $1,000. 5-star is about 5,000, and 10-star is about 14,000, and 15-star is about 50,000 quarterly.
That's quarterly, guys.
Okay. So
it's gonna happen. Just
so
take
right
time.
now, Kathy's averaging about $1,800 a week, not including the bonuses, right? So Kathy right now is basically, if you include her bonuses, she's basically in the 6-figure range. I also track it monthly down here, so you can see like her first month, full month. So I do like a week that ends somewhere between the 25th. Like I basically do a prorated portion of whatever that week is. So there's some math here. If anyone knows Excel.
No, nobody knows any of that.
But anyway, right now she's averaging about. Last month was actually a little bit slower. There was actually a little bit of a backward slide in the business, right? But
month 1, and then you skipped all the way down there.
Yeah, it went from 1,300, 2,000. Now in the beginning, guys, this is all challenge pack sales because she didn't have a team yet, right? Over time, I'll show you the right side. This becomes primarily cycle bonuses, right? So by January she was at 3,000, and then by the summer she was up to like a little over almost $8,500, right? And I fully expect, based on growth, that this number next summer, right, this upcoming summer is going to be like 30,000, right? In like 8 or 9 months from now.
Right.
Over here, a little bit further across, I track cycles per month because I want to know how our cycles are growing across our different accounts. So I'll just show you the month view here because it's easier to see. And then I calculated based on the $18 a cycle for a diamond, right, across all our accounts. So again, you can see, in her first, what is that? Her first 6 months in the business, she made 250 cycles. Or her first half a year, she made 250. Now she's making like 300 to 350 a month. So she's making 6 times more on cycles now than she was her first 6 months.
See how it grows, guys, though? It's the compound effect. That's what happens over time.
Right? Same over here, I've got volume, left leg and right leg volumes for her primary CBC. I don't have the other ones in here. And again, her first 6 months in the business, her total volume was 65,000. No, less. 50,000, right? Volume. Now she's hitting like 60,000 volume a month on the whole team, right? So basically what she's doing now in a month is what she did in the first 6 months. Like every month now is like the first 6 months. So guys, if you quit at 3 months, you're way too early. If you quit at 5 months, you're too early. If you quit at 8 months, you're too early. You have to do this stuff in and out for time, and it goes quick. From here, it goes quick.
Yeah, if you're hitting Success Club every single month and you're bringing on active coaches consistently, that's what happens.
And then I've got total downline here too that I'm tracking, and I added up across all the business centers. So I've got, actually, I'm not even going to show you that because I'll show you. I have some charts here that are a little bit better. So again, here's her volume per week. So our highest volume so far has been like 17,000. That was last week, and this week it went down. Right, this week it went down to like 1,000, 11,000. Weekly income, again, you can see it spikes up, but you've got an average line here where it's going up, right? So again, she broke $1,000 for the first time in March of this year.
That was off of cycle bonuses?
Yeah, no, it's just total income.
Oh.
So including challenge pack sales. So she broke 1,000 for the first time in March, and now she's up to like close to 2,000. I think by the end of the year, it'll be closer to 2,500. And, again, by next summer, I think it'll be way more than that. Cycles per week. She's hit, you hit 100 cycles for the first time last week across all your businesses.
Oh, yay, team!
In 1 week, 100 cycles. That's $18 a cycle. So that's $1,800, right, in 1 week, and just in cycles.
Because that's where all your money is going to come from, guys, as you grow. It really won't. You'll be very little from the actual commission off of your challenge packs.
Right. But if you guys look again, it took all the way from when she started all the way until the end of January to just break out of like 20 cycles per week.
Yeah. You got to keep pumping that well and not stop.
Downline growth, again, this is total downline from her first business center. Right now it's at like 870. But we had to slow down here too, right? Where it kind of tapered off a little bit. And actually, right here, she had her first time where it ever went down a little bit.
Yeah, I was
but
like, uh-oh, is my business going to go backwards?
Right. And it did. It slowed down a little bit. But it's also the nature of the season, right? It's a tough time of year.
Yeah, there's seasons in the business. So.
And then aggregate monthly income, right? So these are the numbers so far, right? I'm not hiding anything from you guys. I believe in transparency, right? And it's to show you guys what's possible and what can be done if you put in the work and treat it like a business, right?
Like I know for me, when I saw what Elizabeth Harkey was doing, and I was seeing what Keith Callahan was doing, and I was seeing what Scotty Hobbs was doing, it just makes it more real because you know that you can do it too. When you see that, it's going to happen. You know you can do it too, and that you're just as capable. You just have to be willing to put in the work and be willing to go the distance and be patient with it.
So guys, this is the same chart as the volume one on the last page, but this is compared to Keith Callahan's volume from when he started his business. So Kathy's the orange. She's a little behind Keith.
I'm trying to follow Keith's schedule, Keith's chart, so I can be on track.
Right. But I had another version, but I don't think I saved it. But I want to make one more chart here for you guys really quick so I can just show you Keith's over a 4-year period, right? So hold on one second. I'll start here because this is about when he started.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is Keith Callahan's. Yeah, if it's hard to see, I apologize. Let me see if I can make it a little bigger
here.
Bigger.
I'm like bigger.
Okay, this is Keith Callahan's volume from when he started until last June, right? Now, keep in mind,
make sure you say what this means, because
volume is what you cycle on. So if you guys don't know that, there's a video on Coach Basics that I did that explains all this. But volume is how you make money in this business over time, the big money, right? So Keith hit 200,000 volume, just so you guys know, is you're capping out volume for a 10-star diamond, right? That's $12,000 per week. Is this volume right here? So Keith is hitting that. Now he's way above this. His volume now is like 500,000 a week, right? He posted about recently in the Bearcat page. But just so you guys can tell, right? If you look at Kathy's growth to date, that is compared to, where did I put it? So Kathy's at week 72 now. So week 72 is Keith's August, basically the end of August. So this is where Kathy is right here, guys.
I'm just at the beginning, guys.
Just at the beginning here. And if you look at how our business has grown so far, this is where she is right now. All this stuff right here is what's coming up.
Right. See, so you don't want to quit ever, because we're just at the beginning of the freaking mountain. We're not we haven't even reached the tipping point yet, but it's coming.
If you look at Kathy's chart here, which is a much shorter time period, you're like, wow, look at the growth. Like, holy cow, it's going up. But then you look at it here and you're like, it really isn't doing freaking anything over here. Because all of a sudden you zoom back from the chart and you're like, oh, okay. But guys, this happens by building a team. This happens by getting your own team, right? Building your own teams.
But you can see where, it goes down, during these months, like November, December, January.
Yeah, so look, this is important too. One of the other things, right? Exactly. Like Kathy's saying, if you look at Keith's right here, look at 4-1-5-1. So right here, he got into like September, August, right? And he actually went down here. And I know, because I know how I track Kathy's numbers, and Keith was probably shitting his pants at this little dot right here. Like, what the hell's going on with my business? You know what I mean? But then it went back up again. So, but if you guys look, see, this is why people quit here when it gets slow. But look what they're quitting right before.
Yeah, that's the January. That's the January through May growth.
Right. This is
January
right here. This is starting
May, it blows up.
Here's January or January 1st, right? From here on, boom. right? And then here again, slows down again because you get into the fall, right? So
But it only blows up, guys, if you're actually like bringing in coaches.
you can see here's if you can see my cursor, here's fall, right? And then spring and summer, fall right here again, and then spring and summer, right? This chart goes into the summer, so that it's a cyclical business. It's fitness. No one wants to. It's harder this time of year, but man, the going gets tough and people drop off, and don't make that mistake. Don't be that person that quits here right before this. It's a mistake. So anyway, was that helpful? Yeah. Okay.
Any questions?
Do you guys have questions? I don't know if I got specific enough, or if you guys have specific questions you might have. I mean, like I said, I was very skeptical of this whole thing in the beginning, and it took me a while, but once I was on board, I was on board. It took me time. For the first 3 months before she signed up, I was totally against it. Her first 2 months, I was kind of like, okay, well, she's making some money. That's good. The next 3 months after that, I kind of started helping out here and there, but I didn't really know how it was going to pan out. And then starting like the beginning of this year is when I said, that's it. Kathy's running with us, and it's going to happen. Right. And now I've got my coach hat on. So.
Do you guys have any questions?
How do you get to the questions thing?
Huh? Oh. Nothing, there's none.
Nothing? Everyone's happy?
You guys don't have any personal struggles you want to discuss or share? Nothing like that. And again, guys, I just want to make it clear, because every now and then I have coaches come on and they come on and then they quit, because I think that they seriously think that you have to do what I'm doing to build a successful business. And you don't have to do that to build a successful business. There are so many people in Bearcat and other people like that are just putting in a couple hours a day, 1 hour a day, whatever works for your schedule. And it might take you a little bit longer, but that's okay. Like, you're going to still get there as long as you are being consistent and you are putting in the time every single day. And especially now, more so than ever, this time of year is the time of year where you need to actually work just a little bit harder, and you have to lay that groundwork and put it in every day. So that way, when January comes, you have that explosion. If you're not putting in any of the work because you're letting the tough times get you, and you're being inconsistent, and you're not putting in the work, and it's not happening every day, and you're getting discouraged because of all the no's, you're not going to have that boom and that explosion in January. I'm not going to candy coat it. It won't happen to you, because you have to be the coach that shows up every single day, no matter what, trying to help people get started on their health and fitness journey, regardless of how many no's that you have. There are still people out there that want to get healthy during this time of year. They don't all want to sit there and stuff their faces and eat and drink whatever. So you got to be that coach that makes that decision to commit and show up every single day. And it doesn't matter if you've got 25 no's today. You're going to do it again tomorrow. And then if you do that and you can make that commitment to yourself, when January comes, you will see that explosion in your business.
Yeah, and guys, some success in this business is shut me up real fast, right? When Kathy made $1,000, right?
Right. You want to prove your spouse wrong? Hustle a little bit more, make a little bit more money, and be like, in your face, see, I'm making this happen.
But seriously, like, just, again, communication is key. Just, make it, it's at the end of the day, your name is on the business center. Technically, legally, it's your business, but involve people in it. I think a lot of times if spouses just get involved and they know what's happening. I mean, not like I said, I didn't come up with all these numbers and stuff out of the gate. Like, this is all later on, once I started watching Kathy make some money and started to learn more about specifically what she had to do to make it work, right? But talk to them. Talk about what your goals are. Talk about what you want to work for hours, and try to honor that, right? I mean, if you have time that's supposed to be for you and your spouse, honor that, right? Family's priority.
Right. I mean, if you come home from work and your spouse doesn't want you to do any work on this business, it's not going to happen. You're not going to build a business like that. If you come home from work and you want to sit down for an hour and your spouse wants you to go sit and watch TV, nothing will ever happen with your business. So you both have to be on the same page with this, because it is a business, and you need to be willing to put in. Both of you have to be on the same page. And you know what? If you're busy, super busy, and you only have half an hour to an hour, then you know what? Make sure it is ridiculously focused, and you hustle as hard as possible during that time, and then go hang out with your spouse.
Belief is a tough thing, you know. Like I said, it's a business, and you don't always see instant reward from this, right? I mean, there'll be weeks that go by. I mean, Kathy had weeks where she talked to hundreds of people and nothing happened. And it's, you know, those are the times where I'd be like, in the beginning, I'm like, is this really doing anything, you know? And thank God we stuck it out, or she stuck it out. Yeah, exactly. Respect the hustle. Her hustle.
Yeah.
But, you know, yeah.
Oh, yes. Respect her hustle. I like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And if anybody ever wants to talk to me about it, I'm happy to chat with anybody about my experiences in the business. Like I said, Kathy didn't sign up for 3 months because I told her this was going to be a waste of time.
Yeah. And you know what? And it's true what Nick said too. I mean, it is a patience thing with this. You know, at the beginning, it's like you are putting in, you know, kind of like a lot of time and not really seeing like that much success unless you're blowing it up with the Success Club points. You know what I mean? If you're hitting high Success Club numbers, then yeah, you're going to see the success. You know, that's like what happened with us. But if not, then it's going to take a little bit of time for you to see like the compound effect and things like that, and for your significant other to be like, oh wow.
Guys, people have short-term attention. People have short-term spans for this kind of stuff mentally, right? So it's like if you don't show success, that reinforces. If they think it's a scam, or if they think you're wasting your time with it, then that reinforces it, right? If you have a slow week, you know, then they use that and they can say, oh, look, see, well, it didn't work out this week, so, you know, blah. But that's why the numbers to me matter. And I don't know if a lot of guys are like me in that way. I think they are. Guys are more analytical, right? I think guys want to see numbers. They want to know what you need to do to succeed in the business. So you have to understand that so you can explain it to them. Or, you know, watch
Pass them along
some of
to
it.
Nick.
Yeah, I'll do that. Right? But they have to know. You have to know. Right? There's a very clear way in this company to make money. There's a policies and procedures plan, and it shows the compensation plan, and it shows exactly how everybody gets paid. Nobody gets paid any different from anywhere else. This isn't like a job where it's like,
there's no special treatment.
You can't suck up to your boss. You get paid on the comp plan, period. Everybody gets paid on the exact same comp plan.
Selling the exact same products.
Right. So
and everything.
So if you understand the comp plan and you know how you make money, then you can maximize that thing.
Maximize it.
Okay.
All right, we'll let you go. It's 9:30. Holy moly. Do you guys have anything that you need to
I hope
share?
I was helpful and I didn't say too much. Kathy told me not to say but I'd say it a lot.
I'm like, don't say and he must have said it so many times, but I said, and he's like, don't say that to me. I'm like, well, this is good prep for you before we go on our, you know, couples panel for the Super Saturday in Boston. Practice not saying now on my little computer screen in front of our like intimate team instead of 400 people in Boston. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for being here, and keep up the good work with the momentum with the team. You guys are doing awesome, and I loved all the live videos, and all of you guys are doing a great job getting all your new coaches started right. They're all hitting the ground running. So keep it up. Let's keep the momentum going, and I will see you guys next week. Bye, guys.